fighter set that punch up. We spoke about the
Here,
right hand will come across at some stage. You certainly did. I think
I'm unmuted. I'm doing double duty here, trying to watch the Mayweather Paul weigh-in, and also watching Daniel Dubois knock out Bryan Dinu in 2 rounds. I've covered Bryan Dinu multiple times. Damn, that Dubois family, like all of them look alike. Here's Frank Warren. We're going to skim through this because, frankly, boxing matches like this really don't deserve my time, man. Because this is like, you know, and it's for the WBA interim. Okay, all right. It's Daniel Dubois' first fight back after getting his eye socket broken by Joe Joyce back in November of 2020. Here we are, June 5th, 2021. Oh, wait, highlight. Oh, okay. I mean, it was a clean one. It was a clean joint. But it's just like, you know, oh, shit. Yeah, he knocked the shit out of him. Some people will probably call it a flop because he did look like he could have got up and just didn't want to. But look at the second one come through. Oh, wait. Is this it? Yeah. That was legit. That was legit. So now it's looking like, and Frank Warren's going to talk about it. Look, they all look alike. They all look alike. I'm guessing that's the brothers and the sister. So remember, I'm doing double duty here, trying to watch this weigh-in. And as I'm looking at the resume of Daniel Dubois, you know, once he stepped up to a bigger competition fight, he got his eye socket broken. Like, and the thing is, that's one of them type of defeats that's going to help him in the future. He's only 23 years old, you know? But matching him up against the top guys in the division, by the way, the rankings on my website, fightview360.com, are updated monthly by my colleague, Mikey. Here they are right here, the champions. Of course, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fighting on July the 24th. That's official. Anthony Joshua is going to be taking on Alexander Usyk sometime soon. Trevor Bryan is who Daniel Dubois and Frank Warren are targeting. Here, let's listen to the particulars. Please subscribe and TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Let's turn it up.
He's come back in sensational style there.
The two fighters drawn together by Marcus McDonnell, and here is Dev Sani.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Marcus McDonnell calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 31 seconds in round 2. Therefore, your winner by countout. And the new WBA Interim Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
He's a winner once again.
My bad. I was just talking and y'all didn't get to hear me. But anyway, I was saying, like, that's the type of shit that bothers me, because it's like, how are you a WBA champion, you know, and you lost your last fight, let alone an interim champion? The WBA, I don't count them anymore unless it's the super title. They make me sick. So do you know, oh shit, now this is happening. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. My computer's been freezing because my fan hasn't been working properly. So let's see if this is still recording. Still says recording. Cool. There we are. All right. So let me do it this way. Did it stop? Nope. Well, anyway, while this is doing what it's doing, freaking out, let me just go ahead and say that the WBA has 1, 2, 3, 5 champions. Super champion Anthony Joshua, world champion Trevor Bryan, gold champion Robert Helenius, champion in recess Manuel Char, and now Daniel Dubois is the WBA interim champion. Like, what type of, like, none of this shit makes any sense anymore. And you know, we're not supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to be like, oh well, he's a champion. You know, hold on, I'm opening back up the And by the way, we didn't have televised coverage of this fight over here in the States. I had to come across this fight via dodgy means. You see what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? We living in motherfucking the Stone Age. Like, we can't, like, what happened to ESPN Plus picking up these fights? I understand it's a trash fight, you know? But what the fuck? Hold on, let me see if this is going to open up. Now this is acting stupid. Everything's just on the fritz, guys. Hold on. Play. Great, everything's on the fritz. Let me see if I can open it up in there. I'm here. Jump cut. Boom. Like,
Jones fans have
all right,
made
we're
their
back.
way north
Let's
up
listen
the
to Frank
M6.
Warren.
We'll be back up there with the big boys.
And once we get those fundamentals locked in,
Oh, we're going to listen to Daniel
Who
first.
would you
the more speed and normal.
of some of the
Was how he started, and how he started on the front foot. He wasn't really that tentative or anything. He was game and he was brave, and the shot that finished him was a fantastic right hand.
We'll look over the best of it again in a moment or two. Down to Steve Bunce first.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. Daniel, I've never seen you look so relieved. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen any fighter look so relieved at getting a win as you were at the end of that contest.
It's been a very rough ride, you know, and I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back.
And it showed, Daniel. How did you feel when you got in the ring? Was your head clear or were you having flashbacks? How did you feel?
There was a little bit of thoughts going through my head, but, you know, I listened to Shane, what he told me, and I just stuck to instructions, and the result happened, man. It's great.
You mentioned it, Dan, let's not mince our words. It's been a hard 6 months or 7 months for you, and I know you're strong mentally and you avoid an awful lot of some of the things people say, but it has been a really tough time. It must be fantastic to have got back in there and got the win this evening.
It is, you know. My sister just qualified for the Olympics.
Oh, what a night for the Dubois!
And I'm glad I'm back. Yeah, picked up a belt as well.
Shane, I can tell you, I know you haven't worked with him for years, but he never smiles like that. You've delivered a great smile at least. You didn't have him for long enough, but did you see enough in the short time you've had him and the short time the fight lasted to show you that he's heading in the direction you want him to head?
Yeah, he's only 23 years of age. You know, he's young. He's obviously suffered a little loss, but he needs to go back, rebuild, and I think we did that. I think that was a fantastic performance. We didn't have long, but give us 6 months, a year, and you'll see the best of him.
And you told him to get a bit closer, which he did, and he finished the fight quickly, having listened to your instructions. When he first came through your doors, what were your very, very first thoughts, Shane?
How good his legs were, how good his distance control was. You know, he's got fantastic legs, he just needs to use them a little bit more. And speed comes from the ground up. Sometimes he pours his shots out, but the more he uses his feet, the more he punches with his legs, the more speed and the more devastation you're going to see with Daniel Dubois. And I think, give us 6 months, give us a year, he's going to be knocking on the door of the big boys, trust me.
Now, Daniel, even before you finished it, you seemed relaxed. In the first round, you seemed relaxed, and he wasn't here to fall over big Bogdan, was he? Alongside the sense of relief, do you get the feeling now that your career's back on some kind of track?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to get back in the mix and, you know, taking things easy with Shane and learning new things in the gym. We're going to get there, man.
Now, I'm going to ask you the inevitable question. What would you like next? I mean, apart from an intensive 5 or 6 months with Shane, who would you like to fight next?
Whoever they bring for me, whoever they bring up, whatever. I'll knock them all down.
Do you, at any point in the next year or 2 years, do you need to fight Joyce in your head? Do you need to fight Joe Joyce in your head?
I want to clear that up. I want to have the rerun again, and I need to set it right. And, you know, I just need to keep listening to what Shane tells me and just keep being the best I can be.
And Shane, you obviously watched the Joe Joyce fight. I'm assuming you watched it. If it wasn't live, you watched it at another time. When you saw Daniel Dubois that night, did you have any thoughts? I mean, it wasn't working with you at that point. You know, you had no contact with him. But what went through your head, if you can cast your mind back to late November?
I know how good Joe Joyce is. I know how effective he is. You know, he's a big 18.5 stone strong guy. He can punch. He's got a fantastic work rate. So, personally, I think he needed 1 or 2 more tests. But look, it is what it is. He's going to have to go back But technically, Dan just needs to improve. He just needs to work on Daniel Dubois, make sure he's as good as he can be from a physical and athletic and boxing standpoint. And once we get those fundamentals locked in, I believe he can beat all of these boys. I'm telling you, I've never felt power like it on the pads. And he's literally, we just need to chip away, make sure he gets there technically, and he's going to be an absolute nightmare.
He certainly is a nightmare. Now, before I let you go, Daniel, you mentioned there your sister Caroline. You think you've had a hard 6 months. How's her year been? It's been the most frustrating 12 months for any boxer ever. She must be so relieved. Have you spoken to her?
This is just the start as well, you know. She's got a long road and she's now qualified for the Olympics, so she's got to go for gold.
A good night for the Dubois family. Daniel, 100%. Good to have you back. Shane, great to talk to you again.
Yeah, let's mute right there. And Frank Warren's going to come on and basically talk about Wilder Fury 3 and like, you know, like how, look, we do the arbitration. You know, he's also going to talk about like they are targeting Trevor Bryan for that, you know, basically that now that he's the WBA interim champion bullshit belt. It's not Dinu Dubois' fault, not Frank Warren's fault, you know, but now they're going after Trevor Bryan, who's the WBA world champion, because they're saying he's now the mandatory for that. Then the winner of that has to fight Manuel Char. It's just a whole fucking mess. It's been cursed over there for quite some time since Ruslan Chagiev lost to Lucas Brown. You know, it's a mess. And the WBA, they just make me sick. They really, really do make me sick. But anyway, you know, when I'm looking at the rankings at 100, I'm fucking 100. Meaning, when I'm looking at the rankings at heavyweight, I'm looking like, yo, like, who can he really compete with that I can confidently say, like, yo, he can, you know, he can, oh, shit. Damn, got him fucked up, Bojan Dinu. Damn. Yeah, that was a clean shot. You know, like, say, for example, you know, I can't wait to see Robert Helenius back. The fact that he was ranked number 2 is just disgraceful. You know, just completely disgraceful. You know, I would love to see him versus a Derek Chisora, and there was a whole lot of fighters I would love to see him against. But I'm talking about fights that can realistically be made. And they're going after Trevor Bryan. And we're going to leave that at that. I'm going to get to the Mayweather Logan Paul weigh-ins. Really, I'm not going to be wasting no 20 minutes talking about this bullshit fight. And TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.